sir, for your phone call. Who's on the phone line? Talk to me, 1490 WERE.
Judge Keenon.
Hello there.
Okay.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, this is Judge Keenon on the line.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful,
okay.
beautiful. I'm glad. So you listen to the Art McCoy University radio show, the University of Common Sense?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I know you've been a frequent caller, and you're calling today. That is beautiful.
Yes, thank you so much for even listening to me.
And listen, this is the Common Sense radio show, and we listen to all our callers, and we're glad that you've called also. So since we have you on the line, and since you've all of a sudden you've become a hot topic on the show, there's nothing like hearing from the Queen herself. So go ahead and say what you want to say, sister. You're on the line.
All right, I first want to tell you I have a plan, as Mrs. Aki said. I have a great plan, and I believe that East Cleveland can come back. We have to work with it. We have to work together to do it, and I am willing to work as hard as I can to make East Cleveland what it should be. I would first like to develop a transition team with persons from all walks of life, business owners, corporations, East Cleveland citizens, educators, and other diverse backgrounds. It takes all of us to make these plans. It takes all of us to decide what needs to be done. And I would like to work to build confidence and trust in our leadership, the leadership of the city. I want a transparent administration. You understand what I'm saying, Mr. McCoy? A transparent administration.
Yes, I hear you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
By disseminating information to the entire community. Everyone in East Cleveland has the right to know what we're doing because we are one community. We're not up the hill and down the hill. We are one community, and that's what I plan to make. We also need to rebuild our neighborhoods, and we can do that by creating street and block clubs to work with the administration, including a neighborhood watch program. I think this will enhance the quality of life for all of us and help to develop a sense of community. I want one day for people to say, I am proud to live in East Cleveland.
That's right.
I think they deserve that. I think we deserve it. I am a citizen and has been here since 1986 when I was appointed to the judgeship by Governor Richard Celeste. So I know what we want, and I know what we need, and I know what we're getting. We're not getting what we should. I focus on economic development by supporting our existing businesses in the city and engaging in innovative strategies and partnerships to attract new business to our city. That will create jobs and revenues that will enable us to provide better services. Think in terms of what we can do if we have more businesses. Think in terms of helping the businesses that we have. It will be more jobs, and that's what we need in East Cleveland. I developed a housing department. I haven't heard of a housing department here lately. To help people to maintain their property and also develop resources for assistance in that process. Everybody doesn't have the money to make their property like they would like for it to be. But there are resources available that are not being given to our citizens to let them know they can help with that. We don't need them walking away from their homes because they can't pay the mortgage. We don't need them walking away from their homes because they can't do what needs to be done in the home. We can help.
That's right.
Listen, Ms. Keenan, this is very, you're getting nearer and dearer to me now. You mean to tell me because many of our seniors have walked away from their homes because of disrepair. Now, you telling me that there were funds in which they didn't have to walk away. They could have actually got help if they had the right contacts and been in touch with the right people.
Absolutely, Mr. McCoy. When I was in the court, we had a housing court. We had a week set aside, a day set aside every week for housing court. And our housing people had resources. We had resources available to say, if you can't paint your house, we'll paint it for you, or we'll give you the paint. If you can't pay your mortgage, we have somebody we can send you to that will help us. Absolutely, we have resources available. They just haven't been used and haven't been given. And as I heard you talking a minute ago, there may be a reason for that. But it was certainly something that should not be happening. If we bring people in the city, if we keep people in the city, if we rebuild, if we tear down those that we can't rehabilitate, but build those that we can, do you know what that does? That brings in more taxpayers.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we just don't want to tear down, walk away, leave our city. I know a person who right now moved across the street because she was living between two abandoned buildings with the trees and the forest all around her, and that brought, of course, animals, and she finally had to move across the street, walk away from her house, and rent a house across the street where it was a little better so that she wouldn't have that next to her.
That's a shame.
It is a shame, and because when you have these open houses that look like most of these houses that are deserted, look, when you have that, then you don't know who's going to come in, who's going to pull a pipe, who's going to put a line. You don't know if the house is going to blow up. It's a safety factor, too.
That's
But
right.
we're talking about developing this and developing that. We need to develop what we have.
That's right.
We need to take care of what we have. We need to make it a better place for everybody to live.
And I imagine since you've been here since 1986, you saw a lot transpire, and I'm sure you're not that happy about it, are you?
I'm not happy about it at all. In fact, I moved here in 1986, but prior to that, I worked in the law department right there in East Cleveland. I was the public defender for the court. I did a lot in East Cleveland prior to my being appointed the judge. So I've seen East Cleveland go down, 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 and it's sad. It's really sad.
Miss Keenon, for the sake of time, I want to go into a different area that we really haven't had a chance to talk about that much, or at least I haven't. And Miss Keenon, I am really impressed with the history of you, Miss Keenon. You started out as a school teacher. Listen, I never saw anybody with so many outstanding careers. I'm kind of jealous, but nevertheless, you started out as a school teacher.
Yes, I did. No, I really didn't. I started out as a social worker.
A social worker, yes.
A social worker, yes. And then I went into teaching school. I taught school right here at Rawlings Junior High School, which you're probably too young to remember, Art. And then I opened John F. Kennedy High School. I taught school for 14 years. And while I was in school, my last 3 years, I went to law school at night.
So you started as a social. This is a good story for our young women to expound on. You started as a social worker.
Yes, I did.
Where you go to school at, by the way?
Tennessee State University.
Tennessee State University. Then you came to Cleveland and became a social worker.
Yes, I was a social worker in Nashville, Tennessee, and I moved to Cleveland and became the social worker here.
All right, and then you went on for 14 years as a teacher?
Yes, I did.
And you say you opened up what school?
I opened up John F. Kennedy High School.
No kidding. All right, so from there, from a teacher, social worker to a teacher, then where did you go? Then you went to law school.
Yes, I went to law school at night, but while I was teaching, I wrote a curriculum of black literature for the Cleveland Public Schools that I think they're still living right now.
Wow.
Still using right now, because the children weren't learning anything about us as blacks. And I wrote that, and I taught that for a long time.
All right, so while you was teaching, you had listen. You must be you must be having some great power here, because while you was teaching, you had the fortitude to go to law school to at night go to law school and learn about that.
Yes, I did.
And
I went to law school every day, 4 o'clock, running down the street, getting to Cleveland Marshall Law School.
You went to Cleveland Marshall Law?
Yes.
Man, that was a prestigious school when you was going, sister.
Yes.
And still is, but that was kind of a groundbreaker in itself. And so you went to law school, and then what happened?
Then, once I finished law school, I became a public defender for the city of East Cleveland with Legal Aid Society. I worked for the Legal Aid Society.
Yes, and go ahead, fast forward, and then what you do?
Okay, and then I opened the juvenile public defender office, because when I was teaching at Rawlings Junior High School, my children would go to court and they never come back. And it's because nobody was representing them, and the county was not representing them. So I asked for that office, and they gave it to me, and I coordinated that office for about 4 years to make sure that those children had defense when they went to court.
Oh my goodness. And then fast forward, then what happened?
Then I went into a black women's law firm with Almeda Johnson, Patricia Blackman, and myself, and we had the first black women's law firm in the country.
History.
In the United States.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness, history. And then what happened?
During that time, I was a journalist for the Cleveland Press newspaper.
Oh, my goodness. Come on, Judge. I didn't know about that one. A journalist. Okay, then what happened?
And then I was hired by the UAW Legal Services, and I opened 2 offices for the UAW for giving illegal service to the workers.
All right. I didn't know this was going to take up the whole show. Then what happened?
That's when I was then appointed to the judgeship in East Cleveland.
And how long were you a judge?
19 years and about 9 months. Oh, a little short of 20 years.
All right. And they kept on re-electing. You had to be re-elected, right?
Yes. The first year I was appointed. The next year I had to run. I ran that year. I beat my opponent 3 times in votes, and nobody ever ran against me since.
All right. And from there, looked like that would have been enough. But then what happened?
Then I was kind of drafted. People asked me to run for the school board, and I did. And the first year they made me the president. I've been the president of the school board for the last 10 years.
All right. So we got one more chapter, and we all know what that is, right? Give me a minute, and I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
Okay. And that chapter is I'd like to be the mayor of East Cleveland because I think together we can make East Cleveland a community that makes us all proud.
Lord have mercy.
Yes,
listen, my phone lines are lit up. I'm not rushing you, Judge, but my phone lines are lit up. We only got about 5 minutes, so I wanted to. But thank you for calling, okay?
And thank you for allowing me to talk. Thank you so much.
So
I
nice
learned
to
a
hear
lot
from
from the
you, too.
university.
All right,
McCoy.
All right. Hey, Miss Keenon, Judge Keenon. Listen, I know you got all those degrees, but this is the University of Common Sense, all right?
That's why I said I learned a lot.
All right, thank you, dear.
Keenan, and mostly because I'm impressed that she was actually endorsed by Marsha Fudd, the Congresswoman.
Oh,
Very impressed. She has a lot of history. She is to be respected, and I think she should be the next mayor.
All
And
right.
she's committed to the community. She has sound leadership, and she's innovative. And Una Keenan is the right person for the job.
All right, thank you so much. Listen, I didn't make that meeting, Zaid, but she was, the Congresswoman was here?
Yeah, the Congresswoman.
Talk about it quickly.
Congresswoman was here. She came up and endorsed her, and those are the kind of endorsements that I know make a difference in terms of being able to reach the resources that we are going to need moving forward. There is nobody else in this race that has that kind of access. And I also say one thing, too, that I've said a few other times, but I just want people to think about this. How appropriate is it for the rebirth of our community to be led by a black woman?
Lord have mercy. Who's on the phone line? Talk to me.
Art McCoy, Tony Masaccio. I am sitting in class at the University of Common Sense Art McCoy show, working on my credits. It's a fascinating show. I have a BA and MA, and since I'm a roving restaurant reporter, I got a BLT in the toaster oven.
Lord.
I got to tell you something. East Cleveland subject is fascinating because you've got to keep this city alive.
Yes.
It's going to turn into Beirut, and it already has become. You
Yes.
got to get, and again, I am not a politician. I am a businessman. You have to get the university hospitals, the Cleveland clinics that are already taking that whole boundary area off 100th and 93rd and 105th and have them invest in this city. I don't know who or what it would take, but I think that would be one of the answers, since we are literally one of the capitals of health now.
That's right.
With the universities and, Cleveland clinics.
Leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership.
Tony, I got to go. Give me a call, Tony, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
I will talk. One more thing. Have you been watching this Hurricane Harvey?
Yes, I have. I
It's
talked about it earlier.
unbelievable. I got to tell you something. A hurricane is like an ex-wife. It comes in wet, wild, and crazy, and when they leave, they take your house and your car.
Oh, my. Thank you. Who's on the phone line? Talk to me. Fast talk. Who's on the phone line? Talk to me. Yes, hello there.
Randy King for mayor.
All right. Okay, no doubt about it. No doubt about
I want
it.
to thank you so much for allowing me to come and to spend some time at the University of Common Sense. I hope that we've reached people and they use their common sense and think about the things that we've discussed here today, because this is our land. If we don't defend and take care of our land and develop it, we won't have any more land. We fortunately have somebody that can bridge that gap, And I think that we know, there's not without a doubt, with all the things she's accomplished in her life, she'll put together a team of people. A team of people that are running the city professionally, and we'll get back to where we want to go. And East Cleveland will be 2 words of pride to anybody that's saving.
Melanated Media News, located on Facebook as well as on YouTube.com. That's Melanated Media News. You can recatch all of these shows.
All right, no doubt about it. Listen, we're not supporting any candidate, but one thing about it, we're getting the word out there. You judge for yourself. God bless you. The Art McCoy University Radio Show, the University
of Common Sense. Wow. Okay.
Good meeting you.
The proceeding was a paid program brought to you by the Art McCoy University Radio Show. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station or its management. WERE